Hey, how you doing, world? What's going on with people? Man, today was a long day. Just got from a sales conference here in Sunrise, Florida for the bank, of course, the firm that I work for. And some of it was good, some of it was boring. You know how it goes. Well, if you don't, let me tell you. These people just like to hear themselves talk. Like, we were there way past the amount of time that we should have been, just because individuals just wanted to listen to themselves give advice that they were supposed to be there to be picking up and learning. So that's always just a strange thing, how everybody becomes a pro and an expert at the exact thing that they're supposed to be learning. I digress. Some of you may know that recently I moved from Chicago to Georgia. It's been about a month now. And I just wanted to document some of my perceived success and give people a way to not only connect with me, but if any of the things that I have learned in my journey can be of any help to you at all, then even if it's just one person, then I'm all about giving back. And so, as I came home from the sales conference today, what was on my mind more than anything else is the word success, like successful, and really how to define it, what it is, and once you do define it, how do you actually obtain it? Those are the three things I want to talk about today. Excuse me, I'm getting sick. I'm drinking some emergency. That's not my usual in a glass. But success, right? Everybody has their picture of it. Everybody has their mental image of what success is to them. But what I have noticed, especially recently, it's always been this way, but I've just paid more attention to it, is that people's idea of success is really what society, what the media, what your friends, what your family, your spouse. It's never really what you want. It's what the environment wants for you. And a lot of times people can obtain that level of success, whether it's having a certain job or making a certain amount of money, being able to travel, becoming part of a certain club, a group, a profession, and they end up unhappy. And in my life, I would define success, and I guess I'll be guilty of doing the same thing, but maybe you should take a closer look at it too, not to influence you. But in my opinion, success is the steps that you take to become happy, to become fulfilled. That's what success is. And nobody can define that for you but you. Nobody. Sometimes we do things that other people want us to do or share in or become a part of. That's a sacrifice. That's another S word. And you do have to make sacrifices along the way. But if the sacrifices you're making aren't for your personal happiness and success, then it's not going to be beneficial to you in the long run, and really to the people that you tried to serve either, because you won't be the best successful version of yourself that you can be. So, first of all, I would say, define what success is to you in the terms of what makes you happy. What type of life do you really want to live? This is a deep self-reflection. There's a lot of things that can influence us. The ways that we think, the ways that other people think, from the news, from the media, from what we see, the images of what success is all about. And if you buy into that, I could tell you that probably about 99.9% of the time, you're going to be unsuccessful, because most of the people that promote those types of images, they want you to be a consumer. They want you to buy into their version of what success means in order to make them rich. And most of the people, if not all of the people that I know, that have true happiness, contentment, and success, it's not always monetary, it's not always financial. But these people thought outside of the box. And maybe that's a video that I'll make at a later time, because I have so many ideas on what it means to be outside of the box. So, number one, define what success is. And then number two, like we said, how can you obtain it? Right? What steps do you need to take to actually obtain the success that you want, the happiness in your life? There's a way, right? There's an actual way to do this. A lot of people don't know that. They leave it up to chance. They blame it on their environment. You know, I have to admit that I was guilty of doing the same thing. Excuse me, for quite a long time. But let me get right into it. I mean, how do you obtain it? To be honest with you, whatever that vision is that you have for yourself, you have to go back to how it was when you were 5 years old, 7 years old, and your mom or your father said, you know, use your imagination. You know, you wanted to do something so bad, you wanted to go somewhere, and they just said, just go outside and play, just use your imagination. You know, and you had to create in your mind your entire environment. You had to visualize it. And that's really what the key is visualization. And what I do personally is I'm patient with the way that I visualize things. So I'll put a 5 or 10 year plan on some of the really big goals and say, this is where I want to be at this particular time in my life. And I constantly just imagine and visualize being in that state and all the different parts and pieces. And once I'm able to see all of the details down to just the minutest things of what type of friends will I have, what type of people will I interact with, what type of car will I drive, what state of mind will I be in, what type of home will I live in, what type of hobbies, activities, what type of music will I listen to when I'm in this state, I just stand out of the way. And when you stand out of the way and you put together your dream and you put together your goal and your vision, the way that you get there is never going to be the way that you think that it's going to happen. And, you know, this relates to some principles that it's a little bit deep. Not to say it's over anybody's head, but, you know, on a microscopic level, you know, people that study quantum physics, which is even a smaller level than microscopic, on a quantum level, everything that we are and everything that we can see is a small percentage of what really exists. So you know that your cells interact with one another. They're going throughout your body, taking on different tasks. But in between each cell, there's space. In between each separate little cell, there's space. And that space is what we don't know about, but it has a lot of power. It represents the unknown. And maybe I'll talk about this in a later video. I'm realizing this is kind of a bigger topic than what we can go into detail for. But for the purpose of illustration, imagine if you could harness all of the space, not the little specific cells and things you can identify, but all of the space, all of that energy, all of that power within is what makes things happen. And so It attracts, it repels, it pushes, it pulls. The force, the energy in between things is what causes them to interact in certain ways. And it's the same thing in your life. You can have an end goal. Visualize what you want things to be. Work hard to become the type of person that could be comfortable in these sorts of environments. But at the same time, right, leave room for the unknown. Or religious people would say, leave room for God. He'll bless you. You know, if you pray, if you visualize, if you have a goal in sight, you know, get out of your own way. And that's hard for us to give in to the unknown. But the unknown is what's going to get you there. It's not going to happen just because you want it to, and you try to plan out every specific step in order to get there. So it's just some of the things that I have learned along my way. And people that are close to me, they call it the wave, you know, because I'll ride the wave. Like, you know, sometimes you feel the energy cresting, and you know you need to just ride it. And don't try to tell it what to do or where to turn, but you know you want to end up on the shore. Then that's your mental goal. You know, and you just work hard every day to be the person that will be grateful that you ended up in a place that your mind visualized. So that's pretty much all I have for today. Just wanted to get that off my chest. But as far as success, again, success to me, what is it? It's happiness. It's contentment. It's finding what fulfills you. How do we obtain it? Through visualization. You define what it is for you personally, and then you visualize being in that state. Work hard every single day to become the person that can accept and be grateful for those types of blessings that you visualize in your life. And you just stand out of the way. Stand out of the way. So that's all I have, folks. Thanks for tuning in. There'll be some more videos. Ox Nation, we're here to better lives, to become the strongest version of ourselves. And, you know, it takes an entire community of folks to make this happen. It can't be just one person riding a wave. You don't get very far that way. Peace and love.